Howdy Earthlings! In the last character guide video I talked about how Scrap sucks, and before that, Brusha. Now you've all suggested others that you want me to talk about, but I don't have all the tunes unlocked yet, just most of them. So I'm talking about Brightney next. Tunes that suck aren't really anything new. Shrimpo sucks, and none of the tunes I've talked about are as bad as Shrimpo. But the important distinction here is that Shrimpo is terrible on purpose, that he is supposed to suck because he is a challenge character. You play him because the game isn't hard enough, or because you want to brag about your high floor with him. The tunes I've been talking about weren't designed to suck, but they do. They fall a little short. Scraps doesn't fulfill a niche and is too solo-oriented to serve a role on a team. I personally don't think it's enough for a character to be a survival-oriented character in a survival game. I think they should do a little bit more, especially when her ability isn't even that good for survival. Brusha, on the other hand, fulfills a niche, but one that really didn't need filling. A skill check booster isn't needed, especially if it means taking a character out of the team to do so. Brightney is a tune that I would say is similar to Brusha. She fills a niche that didn't need filling, or fills it so poorly that there isn't a point to filling that niche in the first place. But I do think that she has one good thing that she's good at, or one or two things that make her better suited for team play. First up, her stats are 3 health, 3 skill, 3 move, 4 stamina, 1 stealth, and 4 extract. This makes her a decent extractor should you have someone to distract the Twisted for you. Otherwise, her low stealth means she'll be getting off of the machines very frequently. Her ability is Nightlight. She reveals Twisted and outlines them for 8 seconds, but it can only be used during blackout floors. That means that maybe her ability can only be used 1 floor out of the first 10, and from then on maybe once every 5 floors. She also has an increased radius for lighting the area around her in a blackout. Not great abilities. This isn't to say that her ability Nightlight is useless though. If you don't have V yet, you can really help the team on a blackout floor. That's because by the time you get to a blackout floor in a public lobby, half of the team is dead. You probably don't even have a distractor at this point. So knowing where the Twisted are is super useful. Even if you have a V on the team, it's still a useful ability because you can take turns using your abilities to give everyone more visibility for longer. Compared to V's ability, Brightney lasts 3 seconds longer and comes up 5 seconds faster. But that whole being only able to use it on a blackout floor is what makes her useless 70% of the time. That's not an exaggeration either. Blackout floor chance is max of 30%. If you do get the blackout cards, then she's useless 75% of the time. So what's the point of using her over an extraction tune with better stats and a skill you can use more than once every 4 floors? There isn't really, unless you want to use her for a really niche purpose. In Dead by Daylight, a survivor can only be hit twice before the killer can try to remove them from the game. The killer can take a little while to swing and has a long recovery time after swinging, so you'll see people on the survivor team running in to take a hit from the killer to protect a player who is on their last life. You can do similar with Brightney. Since she has the lowest stealth besides Shrimpo, she can run in and take the Twisted off of anyone, and she doesn't even have to run in super far because of how low her stealth is. Say you have someone extracting and you see a Twisted walking in that direction. You can run in as Brightney, get the attention of the Twisted, then lead the Twisted away before hiding or running off to lose them. Even though she has low stealth, she has plenty of stamina and movement to avoid the Twisted. This won't be useful all the time, as it does require you to watch everyone else, but every now and then you get to be a superhero. You don't have the stats to be a full-time distractor, but you can still be a big help if your distractor is struggling to hang on to all the Twisted. But if you're a bad player, you're going to find yourself messing things up a lot, and for everyone. You're going to pull Twisted off the distractor, you're going to get hit, and you're going to die on a low floor. Brightney kind of serves as a gauntlet, a funnel to feed the bad players through and make good players out of them, because if you can get to a high floor as Brightney solo, you can play pretty much any other character great. I would say that for the most part there isn't a reason to play Brightney over other extractors with more useful abilities. That spot being used on a Brightney would be better filled with even a Roger, since they wouldn't have low stealth, Yada for faster extraction, Finn, starters, Louis. Most others would be better because their abilities at least work on every single floor. Obviously V would be the best, but if you're using Brightney, it's because you don't have V yet. V's ability reveals machines and Twisted for 5 seconds with a 50-second cooldown. I think Brightney's ability should be extended to work on every floor, but with the cooldown increased to 50 seconds. That way Brightney is more useful without having too much overlap with V. There would still be a reason to use either one over the other, and Brightney would still be used to train you for getting V. If you care more about seeing Twisted and having 1 more health, then you'd use Brightney. Personally, I don't think V needs the ability to reveal machines to other players because she can already see the 2 nearest to her. My point is with this stuff is that main shouldn't feel like a direct upgrade. It's supposed to be a trade-off. It's why we have 1 less health and stronger abilities. You're trading specialization for survival survivability. They're for good players to do the things they're good at even better. But a regular toon should still be a compelling choice while also preparing players for their main alternatives. As for trinkets, Brightney is another V-Mote holder. It's possible that you have the V-Mote and haven't finished Brightney's mastery since you need her mastery for V, so you could just run around with a V-Mote, fill a machine, then hide the rest of the time. If you have Participation Award, just play Shelly. But instead, I'd use Magnifying Glass and Pink Bow. Her skill check is high enough that it's not making it any harder. You might be better off with Pink Bow and Shoes. You won't distract, but you can at least get away from the 1 million accidental chases that you start. In the end, I think Brightney is another character that you play just to get the mastery done and to unlock V. Once you have V, play her and never look back. Brightney is a character designed to prepare you for playing V. The lower stealth is to train you for V's low stealth, and the Nightlight ability helps prep you for using V's mic check. Brightney isn't as bad as Scraps, but I think she's on par with Brusha, a character whose ability is so rarely useful that you may as well not have the ability. And as I said before, Brightney is very useful for turning bad players into good players. If you're struggling with the game and you want practice, play as Brightney, play solo, and see how far you can get. If you can get to 20, you're pretty much set. Thanks for watching, and thanks to the supporters on Patreon and members on YouTube. For just $1 a month, you can get your name read aloud in the credits of my videos, like Gezro, Am, Nebazee, Aspirin Artist, Paper, Faye Penguin, Momentary Unicorn, Aurora the Puppy Moth, Nat, Marius Yini, Worm Syrup, Brask, Beef, Colorado Blue, Vaderson, Linky, Addy14, The Ace with No Trace, Splackjack, Rask Again, Willie Pete, TG Dante, Linky Again, and Malding Brick. I'll see you all later. I have to go get yelled at for griefing because I keep accidentally taking all the Twisted off the distractor. It's not on purpose, I'm playing Brightney. Bye.